On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, we have the opening of striped bass season. I have a preview of this week's digital edition and correspondence check-in from around the island, all here at thefisherman.com.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today is Thursday, April 14th, and this is the Fisherman Magazine's weekly video fishing forecast. In this week's digital magazine, I have a review of the Ozeri Mag Popper. Jim Hutch Jr. has a preview of the upcoming bluefin season, and Gary Soldati has great insight on why his pike lures work so well. All this and more in this week's digital edition of the Fisherman Magazine. This is the week we have all been waiting for. The striped bass season is officially open tomorrow, April 15th. The regs remain the same, 28 to 35-inch slot fish, one fish per person, and the season goes from April 15th to December 15th. Good luck and send me in those pictures. If you're curious about the striper migration, I have a great resource that is about to check in, our New Jersey, Delaware video fishing forecast with Jim Hutchinson. There are other striper forecasts out there, but nobody has the pulse on the migration like Jim. Click on the card in the top right to check out his video. In the surf, we had some good reports come in during the week. Starting in the west, I heard Raritan Bay shoreline was producing larger fish over the slot size for casters using swimming plugs, while back to the east, Jamaica Bay was producing schoolies with slightly bigger fish as well for surf casters. Jones Inlet is starting to see a trickle of smaller stripers also. On the North Shore, in the western bays, they all produce stripers for casters working the shoreline before and after dark. I heard small swimming plugs were working and the bigger fish were coming on the plugs compared to the bait. Up island, about mid-island, I got word that a few schoolies were caught around Robert Moses and Smith's Point Bridge also. As April progresses, we should see more fish heading out east on the island. From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean. Mike.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Not just yet. I was out this afternoon for the first few casts I took of the season, and I didn't get into any. A friend of mine was out scouting yesterday in the bay, just a little bit east of Moriches, and water temperature is spot on for where they should be for the bass to be here, mid to upper 50s. Marked a lot of bunker at the bottom, and just didn't get into any fish. However, another friend of mine fishing this morning got a small fish that had sea lice on it, so that's a great sign. So even though I only got about an hour or so in this afternoon, I plan on getting more time in as the weekend approaches, and next week as well. I'm pretty sure that by next week I'll have a report and a picture of a striper for you, and hopefully you'll have the same for us. In terms of other fishing going on, not a whole lot. Still a few weeks away from the start of fluke season, the shortened blackfish season. Not a ton of people out here, at least, have really been out, or some people still don't have their boat in the water yet. So not a ton of reports there. The couple of people that have been out, got some shorts. I only heard of like one or two keepers. Most of that action has been to the west. And, kind of everyone's just waiting on the stripers out here, seeing the incredible fishing going on in Raritan and on the, the western North Shore. Everybody out here is kind of, just on edge, waiting for it to happen. So looking forward to that. This Friday, or well, tomorrow as this comes out, is the deadline to send in email to ASMFC. And you can find this on the Association of Saltwater Guides on Facebook, on their website. They have a ton of information about Amendment 7, and our voices need to be heard. There's a lot of big decisions that are going to be made, and it's our shared resource. So they kind of break it down. It's a really it's a long read. There's a lot of information, but they break it down to clarify a lot of things and what seem to be the best options, and obviously however you kind of digest everything through that. But please step up, send the email. Plenty of resources online, and to send to the SFMC as well as your state representatives in here. I sent mine off this morning, and hopefully you can do that. One other thing is the Manhattan Cup, which is back for June 3rd of this year, Liberty Landing in New Jersey. Gonna have most of the repeat offenders from last year. Captain Tim O'Rourke, Matt Broderick, myself, hopefully a bunch of other people. Registration is open now at manhattancup.com. You can reach out to me with any questions you have. If you're a captain that would like to donate your day and bring one of our teams out, and some of our veterans would love to have you. So again, reach out to me on social media, leave a comment below, and it's really going to be a great event. Huge success last year. So, all right, so get out there, throw those casts, catch them up hopefully, and I'll talk to you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From Northport, we have Mark McGowan from Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle.
Spring is one of the most exciting times of the entire year for me. I love it. It's the beginning of the life cycle of so many plants, trees, people. This time last year, I had my first grandchild from Phil and Emmy, my baby Reed. I love him so much. We just celebrated his first year birthday, and I'm a proud fishing grandpa. I can't wait to get a pole in his hands and take him fishing. That life cycle, it's just something that happens every year. You see the crocus come up. We look at forsythia bloom. There are a lot of different signals that tell us that the life cycle has begun. In the back of the harbors right now, we're looking at temps that the water's still low 40s. Some areas it's very low in spearing and shrimp. Other areas have seen lots of killies and peanut bunker. So there's a big mix of the baits. It's not like what we see in June and July when there's a lot of different baits concentrated in single areas. So right now I think a lot of these fish are moving around from harbor to harbor, and they're just looking for some type of forage. It's going to all of a sudden be a spawn of either mantis shrimp, grass shrimp, another thing of large bunker coming in. These fish, they know it, and they just keep looking around. As soon as they key into an area with bait, that's where they're going to be. So keep up the good work. Get out there, have a lot of fun. And until next week, I bid you peace and tight lines.
With our fly and freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. I'm down here walking around the bays because I've been hearing really good reports. In East Rockaway, Captain Brian, he sent me photographs of stripers inside his canal. So there are fish are out here now, and with this warmer temperatures, it's only going to get better and better and better. Look for the flats, the mud flats. They warm up. This is a good time to be out here. It's a perfect time for us because it's going to be low tide around 1 o'clock, so it gives the mudflats plenty of time to heat up so that by the evening, the stripers will be coming in on the high tide. So I'm going to try to get out tonight. As far as the freshwater scene, I've been hearing a lot of good things on the Connecticut scene. Also, T.U. Pete, he went upstate. He's been fishing the smaller streams in the Westchester area, and also he's been also fishing the Marianas in Connecticut, the smaller streams in Connecticut. And you know what? Little black stones will be coming off. Of course, they did stock, so he had better days. As far as the streams up around the Catskills, well, they're a little blown out, but they should be dropping. They're very fast. Maybe by this weekend, Easter weekend, they might be fishing well. As far as the streams on Long Island, the Carmen's is doing very, very well, and so is the Nessequag. Guys that fished up there, they did very well. Carl's River also has fish. As far as everything else goes, we're doing a lot of trips this year. If you're interested in doing any of my trips, fresh or salt, just go to riverbayoutfitters.com and go to the trip page. See, maybe you'll sign up. They're not expensive and they're a lot of fun. So until next week, tie lines, everybody.
Over at J&J Sports in Patchogue, we have Cole Dutton.
Hi Matt, Cole from J&J Sports in Patchogue here at the port for the local area. Recently I was stocked West Lake with rainbow and brown trout right up the block from us. Anglers have been using Castmasters, trout magnets, and night crawlers to catch them. On the saltwater side of things, we've heard a few schoolies have been biting around the Carmen's River area and the Smiths Point Bridge. We have been hearing SP minnows and bass assassins have been doing the trick. The weather is looking good, so hopefully the fishing improves with it. Back to you, Matt.
Let's check in with Chris Ludwig. Chris.
Hey, thanks, Matt. What's going on, guys? So this last week and a half or so, the striped bass fishing has been very good. I had to get out of my comfort zone a bit to find these fish, but it was well worth it. I ended up bumping into a body of fish that was like 28 to 35 inches, which I'll take that this time of year. Beautiful, strong way to start off the season. I was using the good old Daiwa Salt Pro minnow, of course, the floating one. Between just a straight retrieve and like a twitching action, about 2 hours before the incoming, and my good old favorite here, the no live bait needle little mullet. These things are candy. I mean, I don't know. It's just like a non-mechanical motion that really brings them in. Interestingly enough, I'm fishing them on these jig head. It's a prototype, which I could speak on maybe in a couple months. But the action is there, the bait is there, and it's time to capitalize on it. So if I was you, I'd get out there and really start hitting it hard. Back to you, Matt. Hope to see you all out there, and take care.
From Jamaica Bay, let's check in with Chris Landry. Chris.
Thanks, Matt. Great news. The bass are back. Jamaica Bay is full of the migratory bass. We went out the last couple of days with Captain Vinny from Karen Ann Charters, who's been fishing Jamaica Bay for over 50 years, and no one knows the bay better, and he got us on the fish. We got him back behind JFK, and that's not a spot burn because these fish are on the move. Okay, there's no bunker that we could tell. We did see an off-spray takeoff with a herring. There's some small bait here and there, but not enough to make the bass stick in one place, so it's run and gun, stick and move. We were getting them on 1 ounce bucktails, 1 ounce shads, soft plastics, and it really made a big difference between going from 2 ounce down to 1 ounce. We were really crushing them with the lighter lures. So they're also out front. Rockaway Beach, my first cast on the jetty.
Yeah, first cast, baby.
Got bass. So they are back. It's great news. So tight lines, everybody. And the season opens on April 15th, but please consider catch and release. Okay? Great news. Thank you. Back to you, Matt.
Raul Ortiz, the urban angler, checks in. Raul.
The fishing continues to be good around the city and Long Island Sound, and now I'm hearing of good reports along the south shores of Long Island. Most fish that are being caught in the 10 to 20 pound range, and a lot of slot fish being caught also. On the Hudson River, I'm hearing of a lot of schoolies being caught, a lot of action. If you like fishing with bloodworms and soaking bloodworms, you have a great time out there. Take the kids out. The warmer weather is coming. And school recess is coming up, so it's a great time with opening day right around the corner to take the children out and hopefully run into some of these big fish. Besides that, there's not much I can say, but we're all waiting for that big run, and they should be here any day now. Another thing I wanted to mention, guys, is when you're fishing, please, if you bring anything with you to the beach or to any river or anywhere you're fishing, just take your garbage with you, please, guys. Come on. You know, don't leave a mess out there. You know, when you leave these beaches, there's other people coming to the beaches and they don't want to see this stuff. You know, that's why things are getting taken away from us. You know, so try to be clean. If you bring anything with you, take it back with you or put it in the garbage can. It's just that simple. Besides that, stay tuned and I'll see you guys next week. Tight lines. Back to you, Matt.
If you would like to be a part of our weekly video fishing forecast, we are looking for social media savvy anglers for hyperlocal reporting from around the New York Metro and Long Island area. So if you're a captain, tackle shop, or just an avid angler, contact my producer at libayrat@gmail.com. Remember to like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And of course, be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine for only $29.95. And that makes you part of the Dreamboat and Coastal Kayak Clash contests. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. And please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. See you right here next week at thefisherman.com.